Okay, should be good. You met.
Calling meeting to order 6:09. Thank everyone for their attendance tonight. We're gonna move the previous minutes down and go to the public address.
Yeah, so Brad just had a meeting yesterday with a couple of board members on the potential of bringing ice back on earlier than we have previously in previous years. The timing of it was good and bad, except for it needed to have a decision made pretty soon. So Simcoe is on site. They were on site yesterday to shut down the plant to move ice off of the rink. So after that meeting, Greg said, hey, can we go talk to Simcoe, kind of see what their ideas are for taking the ice off, bringing it back on at an earlier date than we have done previously. So I'll let Greg talk on Simcoe's side of that.
Simcoe feels that right now with the ice on, the system is literally on cruise. It's not working really hard, the temperatures are already where they need to be, and all it's doing is maintaining that temperature. The tech feels that if you pull the ice off and raise that temperature back up, and decide that you're going to do it within the next 3 to 6 weeks and bring it all, try to force that temperature back down again while the hottest part of the year, you're going to put a lot of stress on the ice plant. So his recommendation is, if you're going to put ice back on here shortly, leave it on, just because of the efficiency right now is how the plant is running. He does not feel like there would be a problem as far as leaving the ice on, as far as causing an issue with the base or with the actual rink floor itself. And he said it would be absolutely no different running other than having to fight with keeping the temperature where it's at when you start going into the end of June through July and into August, because they're the hottest part of the year. So it says, I don't know what your utilities are right now, but they're probably going to go up because of that. Trying to maintain that temperature when you're going to be potentially 70 plus degrees and warmer outside. So from the standpoint, his recommendation is don't pull the ice off because it's easier on the plant itself if you're planning on bringing it in early anyway.
We did ask too, on that, there's some maintenance things that need to happen. The garage door down here, we still have not heard back from the architect, so it's not gonna happen this year. We're pushing next season for sure for this garage door. Some stuff that does need to be fixed are lights in the ceiling, as well as these banners, changed out for better banners, more consistent banners, and then moving them closer to the crowd. So Greg did talk to them about that too, getting a lift on the ice, that type of stuff. He thought if you're gonna be there for a duration, you need to put something underneath the wheels of the lift, that type of stuff, but there are rinks that do that. He said the other thing too is if your sponsors aren't going to stay the same, if those are gonna change on the ice, he said there are rinks as well that put your SAM right over that sponsorship and dig it down to where it needs to be, relay a new sponsorship, and then build it back up with that. So he said there are rinks that leave their ice on 2 to 3 years at a time, and they don't see too many issues with the compressor system like that. So
As far as maintenance is concerned, the last 2 days he's been changing out the oil on the compressors anyway. So he just takes one offline, changes the oil, brings it back online, goes to the next one. And as you saw from the pictures, we are working on cleaning up the evaporator cooler out there, the condenser. It's gonna need to be painted. So if the the ice stays on and it continues to run, we're gonna have to shut it down and dry it, shut everything down for a couple hours, plan on it, where the compressors get turned off, and we go in and get it done, you know, a short window there, get it done, and then fire it right back up again. So, those are some maintenance things that need to be taken care of. So,
So I don't know how it works in the past, but is September typically when the ice would go back on? And there's never been any sort of issue with that temperature in September?
The last week of August.
So let's see, August.
just
That's
before
what
they,
it's been the last 3 or 4 years when the Minotaurs have been coming the first week of September.
Which is the 6th,
Yeah.
Sixth of
September
December.
6th to the 7th is that first
Warren month.
Warren month.
So it's untapped territory, we've never done it, so we wanted to make sure to, one, what would it do compressor wise, and went with his recommendations. If you want ice on earlier, he suggested we get it out, don't melt it, said save your manpower, that type of stuff. And then two, just on our side, our maintenance guys, every time we turn off the rink, they're like, oh, we're not on call 24/7, that type of stuff. So then we came back to the park board tonight. Park board had a meeting as well tonight, and we're like, okay, what's the cost associated with our guys being on call for 11 more weeks? They've never done that before. And then two, we really don't know what the compressor alarms are going to be in warmer temperature. We've never had it.
So after that meeting, we've been gathering some information on some of that stuff. From March 1st, there's been 187 responses required on the compressors. 121 of them in May when it warmed up.
Out of the 180.
Out of the 187. So we're a little bit concerned about the warmer months and what that is going to do to, as far as the time for our employees. The two individuals that we have down there, Cliff, we took his, that are primarily responsible for answering those. And we have, how am I reading this? 32 overtime hours on the weekends and nights, 20 and a half again. So for just one of them, it's roughly, you know, a $7,000 increase to leave this ice on for these next 11 weeks while it goes. So you put two of those guys together, that's 14, 15 grand just in the park district's part. Now, wintertime, not as big a deal, but we have a boatload of projects that those guys are supposed to be working on currently. When the ice goes off and they don't have that to worry on or worry about, then we start with the lights, the stuff in the grounds and the stuff all the way around the building. After visiting this evening at the meeting and afterwards, because the compressors down here are about how many times a week, Greg?
we come down and visit 20 to 30 times, whether it's walking in and filling out the books, or walking here and listening, or walking in and just looking at the computers. So we're here 20 to 30 times off and on all week long.
So basically what, in a very short story of this, with those guys having to be available for the compressors and this end of the building over the summer, like I said earlier, we figure it's about a $15,000 spend. That would be if things hold as they have in the past. May worries not, and I'm not trying to be an aficionado, I know nothing about it. But if it warmed up in May and that's where 121 of the 180 some were, the warmer temperatures worry me a little bit. But basically, that dollar amount, we're probably going to have to hire somebody else so that we can get the other projects done with some of those things. So that's kind of the park board stance on it right now, as far as if you were to decide to leave the ice on all summer long or not take it off.
Is there anything that the city goes in, now that you're working on it, will possibly eliminate some of those headaches? Do you anticipate that?
far as the alarms,
Yeah.
so we're talking about when ammonia detection, or if there's a bump of any kind whatsoever based on the last two big events that took place were because of the storms that rolled through. We can't control those.
Sure.
And they are extremely sensitive on those VFDs, and that's where any kind of fluctuation at all, and so.
And some of those alarms too, Greg can remote in from home
Yep.
and restart the system. It just depends on what the alarm is. Whether somebody has to come in, physically look at it and see what the issue is, so.
I was just curious if maybe what he's doing now will set some of them down. I don't know.
And it may be, it's just that he's just doing basic maintenance right now. In reality, he's doing the maintenance that would normally take place on a shutdown. Changing the oil, making sure the belts are all good, you know.
We just told him to hold off until after this part, or until after the hockey board meeting, so. Unfortunately, we would need a decision tonight from the board, just because if we decided a later date, then we would have to pay for him to come out, because just one shutdown and one startup per season is included in the agreement that we have with them.
What was Citgo's conclusion on why there's so many alarms
In May,
Yeah.
because
Or
it's,
March, you said March, right? Yeah.
May was the highest, 125 of the 180. Since March 1st, 187, 125 were in May.
and the majority of them are due to electrical bumps.
Electrical loss.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of
With the
issues.
storms coming
I've
in.
had a lot of issues
yeah.
with a lot of customers and stuff because of maintenance.
So, when we brought Bob in,
Yep.
when the last time that he was here and he was in, the tech was here, they reset those parameters, opened them up bigger, so that whatever the high, whatever the low was, so it wouldn't shut the plant down.
Right.
But we've had enough that it's bypassed either up or down to cause issues with the plant still. And they are at, he says that they are at max as far as the Simcoe's willing to go as far as setting that upper level and that bottom level as far as.
Well, I mean, I would, I guess, educated guess, weather, sweetness,
Yep.
and typical weather in North Dakota for the rest of the summer is pretty light, dry, you know, not a lot of weather. I mean, I'm not saying we're not gonna be kidding, but it's here.
I know, this is when our thunderstorms start, you know.
So,
June and
I
July.
have some clarification on that.
Yes.
15 grand. So where is that coming from? Then will you guys bill us for the 15 grand?
That would be the minimum,
Okay.
15 to 20 grand, depending on
Okay.
how many stops there are, or how many hours they have to put in.
And that's what we would track it on our end.
Right.
Because what we're looking at right now is our utilities for May was $14,481. So, I mean, if you're gonna be doing the math as to, we have $149,000 in our checking. In order to just pay utilities for a year, that's $144,000 at average. I mean, if you guys feel comfortable that we're left with $5,000 in our checking that for that, granted, you know, we're gonna have to do all of our fundraising. But, I mean, it's kind of something to wrap our head around that we're gonna have to do some major fundraising if this is gonna be a possibility. And it just, I don't know, to me, it seems like it wasn't thought out early enough. I think for me, I feel like if we did this, it should be a plan for next year. And we can figure out all the details and how to utilize the ISOVEX camps, the OPT, everything like that, and really figure out our budget as far as like how much money can we make off of the ice that we need it on. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with it.
I was thinking of this the other, you know, after last night, I was thinking, you know, does a guy, I don't care, that ice is junk. It needs to be replaced, and I was thinking, well, you got this cool side over here, you got a warm side over here. Do you go, eventually, next year, if you looked at this as an option. You go and take that cold brine, throw onto that one, bring that warm brine over here, and you build ice on that one, because that one will be off, you know, so then you would go and bring new ice onto that ring for the rest of the summer, and then you would put new ice back on in the fall, in August, but you'd still have your plant running at, 50%,
And I think at one point, like, I don't know, years ago, that they actually did leave that ice on for a little bit, but then it wasn't even feasible to keep it on and it didn't pay to keep any ice on it, so.
that's a big thing I look at, is finances. Can we go and generate $15,000 to $20,000 a month?
On top of their 15.
Yeah, but you have, that's 6 weeks, so you're gonna have, 7,500 extra a month. Let's just say you would have 15 plus 7,500, so there you are, you're at 23, $1,000 a month. I was just wondering if that would be an option for next year, if we decided to do something like that, then
Switch sides.
you would switch the ice, that you would take that cold brine that's already there, because there's 2 valves in there that you open up and you can flow it back over to there, you can flow that one over to this one, and so you would cool that slab, but this was your cold already, so you're putting cold back in.
What do we pay when the ice is off?
$6 grand.
So it's 14 grand. You have the ice, right? Plus the extra 15 to 20 back in this,
That's for 2023.
That's 2023. Yeah. Well, here, I can give them that. I think so. That's the 2023 numbers. So June and July were
June was
2,500 and July was 2345.
Do you feel like we could budget with the next year, knowing that if this is what we wanted to do next year, that we could play it into the budget somehow with you guys and kind of figure it out better, or?
I think that's probably the biggest hiccup that we have with it, is it's something that we didn't plan for. Where Cliff and Angel we need them doing other things around the building. And now,
Right now, they're weeding
yeah,
and mowing grass.
find out yesterday, I found out yesterday, I guess, that thinking about having ice on all year, that puts us in a little bit of a bind. And we have to we'd either have to find seasonal help and that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, then another issue
find
is
seasonal help to do
who's
those
gonna
things.
maintain the ice? Dam drivers, like, your ice is gonna be crap, and that's ice that we're gonna have to use all year after that, so. I know Damien's tired of examining, he said he had done this go around it twice, because the ice was so bad. So, I don't know if we're gonna find anyone who can exam ice, and it's just gonna sit dirty, or.
The big thing I look at is, I believe that there's rings out there, but our water system in Watford City is not purified enough that you
We
look
can
at,
send you a copy.
you look at our ZAM, those that we use the same,
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
we use the same water that we put down in our ZAM, our flow was completely plugged, and that's less than 7 years. That's how much garbage we have through and I think if you had purified good water, your ice would last longer.
But if we're pulling this, essentially, you're talking about pulling the slurry from this and over here, are we putting essentially the same ice pack on?
No, that's the cooling fluid that's,
Oh, okay, I got you.
it's all underneath the ring.
So to take this one off, to get this one to come off faster, we open the 2 valves, we bring all the hot fluid over there, and then pops the ice and you can take it off in less than a day. So when you take that one off, it takes 2 days for it to cool down enough for it to finally pop.
And I think in general, now you talk about this, we take the wrong one off to begin with. Once the season's over, this one should stay out because it's in the middle. Right?
You know, that was always the plan, to leave that one on and take this one. But we tried that one year, and what happens when you're pushing all this, the water from this one, because you gotta go through the ZAM out that door, it goes underneath that rink and it started to pop that ice.
Well, hopefully that won't be an issue.
Well,
That's
Yeah, you
what,
can get a garage
if
door.
we get a garage door, how many days, that's a 60-day window, is that what you said?
We're figuring 60 days.
60 days to put that door in.
Well, but that's, yeah.
But we
Then
can plan
don't
for
need-
that next year.
Yeah.
But it makes complete sense to keep that rink on.
it would,
I
because
mean, hands down, your utilities, everything.
smaller area,
Yep.
one outside wall.
Wouldn't have to wait 60 days, I guess there'd be a hole there, you could push it out. So
Yeah,
wouldn't necessarily have to be a door there. But, don't know what that would do depending on the weather without sealing off, blocking off. But, and we're just here to present information, so if you don't have any other questions or anything else,
I think we should give them an answer, so they can let some folks know yes or no.
Can we give you an answer after our meeting?
Yep. We just told them we'd let them know tonight.
try.
Okay,
Good.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for this. Do you want the shot?
No, you can.
No, it's freezing.
Okay, Mike.
One more thing that's totally off the wall. You can figure out how I can deaden the sound in here, let me know.
Well, using the, an average of $400,000 a month, we spend on utilities plus the 18,000. Yeah, minus the 6,000, I mean, normally we would raise $35,000 to $40,000.
Well, that was $6,000 though in June, and then $2,000 it only cost us in July and August, because I just looked at their numbers, so they were getting out. Yeah, she's getting on it, that total was $130,000 for the year, that's what was trying to bring it down. So, I guess my number with the 6,000 was just coming from our accountant as far as like how much that costs, but I didn't realize they actually have the utility numbers, so it's less than 6 to.
Down to 20, 25, and 20, 30 plus.
So
What's the magic number is what I.
Yeah, so what, how much is it gonna cost us to keep
Utility
using?
bills, so I just use utility bills of $14,000 a month. We spend through the winter time, for 2 years.
Right, that's just utility.
Okay, so if we just take $14,000 a month, now the next 11 weeks, we'll call it 12 weeks, is 3 months, that we normally pay $6,000 a month, right?
No,
No, that's what I was saying was wrong. So,
So it is,
2,000
it's two, so
Right.
it's cheap.
2 months
Alright, so that,
for them 2 months, it's 2,000
each.
each.
So if we take it off, it's gonna cost us $2,000 a month. If we keep it on, it's gonna cost us
28.
15, 14, 15.
Plus, this one for a higher thousand.
50 plus what they're 7.
Going based off our average monthly expense, it'll cost us roughly about $25,000 to $28,000 more this year in utility costs.
To keep on. Okay. I mean, and do we have a plan to make that money if we keep it on? Or is that just?
The measurement stick that we have from a revenue standpoint is what we did with OPT, right? That's our equipment, our total water kind of. Having not done programs here in in the summer, I don't know if I can make an educated assessment.
And that's assuming that you get the same numbers.
No, and like, and I don't even know if we get those same numbers, I don't know if we get less or more. I think it's all testing new waters.
How relative was our money from the camps that had to pay ice? Roll out right on that, cancel. Mario.
We had that. So I just, yeah, so I just gave her a check from, who was it, Vision Hockey, and that was what, 1,200? Was that 1,200? Okay. And then I think I did 2 rentals, so it was like $200, right? Yeah, if someone Venmoed and then I Venmoed $100, so it's $200, I mean.
And then Mario's 2 camps.
I don't know, I didn't get.
We haven't got his check
Okay.
yet, so. But last year,
We had a rough estimate of what that did.
last year, I believe it was like 4,000 or 5,000 we got from him. Total. Cause we were charging him cause we had that set fee $1,000 a day. In our rental that we had, that we approved the year before that Luke wanted. That was 1,000, I think it was $1,000 a day if they put on a camp for the whole day, $1,000.
I feel like we have an issue getting anybody to, maybe not anybody, but camps to actually rent guys during July and August with such short notice.
This isn't this year's issue, but prohibitions is that fucked my mind, screwed my mind on it, and they wanna come here. So we thought, they could probably get July 4th, the week after the 4th.
Yeah.
That they had some Yankees and all that coming here for next season. Now that isn't this year. What it does is, we still have registrations to deal with, we still have potential things that you can put on that are constant, and we have a whole basically calendar year to figure out the fundraising plan for the year now.
That's why I was wondering if, you know, we should look at doing that next year. What I was saying, trying to. Sheet that.
I understand, just, you know, we have a certain amount of money in our checking account today, but we can add to those funds moving forward, I guess is what I'm saying. Of whatever Tom can provide on the ice between now and Warren Watford, that's just excess income that we've had, whether it's 10 grand total, it doesn't matter, so $10,000. And then as the fundraising and our big budget could be worse, we got backball advertising we can do. We can figure out a way to upcharge our on ice advertising. Whatever those numbers you guys come up with, that changes things. We have a calendar year to figure out between now and next year's potential other upcharge. Right? Am I wrong in that statement? Or is avenues?
Or next year, from your
I'm
own.
saying we have
To make up for
To
that.
make it up,
I don't
starting
think
now.
about spending the money now and then hoping and praying that we can make it up later.
So is this
I
ice,
like
I mean, I haven't skated on this ice right now, but I know Deegan complained on this ice, Deegan says ice is, he said it's crap, ice is crap. So are we wanting to skate on this ice for the whole next season? Before we take off, I mean,
I'm sure we could fix it.
The big thing is
Yeah, who is we exactly? Who's gonna maintain the ice while it's on? Cause I know Daniel said the ice was so dirty when he came to Zam, like no one cleaned the ice at all. There's no one zamming. Daniel doesn't wanna spend his time zamming during the summer. I don't know anyone who would want to come during the summer and zam, honestly. They want a summer, they want a break, these are all volunteer people.
I love the idea of ice all year round.
I think it's, yeah, absolutely.
I don't like it on such short notice. I feel like we just lost out on the camp because we didn't want to let them come this week instead of last week.
Yeah, because our
give two answers there, right? From a business perspective, I get this is a rushed, last minute decision, and there's financial impact, there's operational impact, there's quality of life impact, all of that. I get 100% of all those concerns, right? My role here as a hockey director is to make these players better, right? Okay, I can't do that without ice. And what I can tell you is the majority, not all, but the majority of geographies that are playing competitive hockey across the country are playing near, not all year round, but near all year round hockey. And so obviously as a hockey director, I'm gonna try and push to have as much ice as possible because that's how we get players better. You know, I think, I was surprised when I found out yesterday because I made kind of just assuming ice was gonna come out. What I haven't asked him is, when are we getting ice back? And can we bring community back possibly sooner, all right? So that we can get into maybe an extended preseason and some additional things so that our players are better prepared for the upcoming season. That was kind of where what I've been asking about is when will I get ice back? And I just, you know, I don't know the answer to that yet. If we're waiting till September and we're in Watford, it is what it is. You know, if it's right after, you know, what's that, Labor Day? I mean, as fast as possible after that, let's get the kids on the ice. So, you know, I just need a date so I can start planning these things and start marketing them as well.
So I know, like, since you brought that up, thank you, I know we usually put this ice on first, and then like, is there a possibility that can go on a little bit sooner, and then we put this one on, like, the last week in August, and can that go on, like, the middle of August, and this go on, or is that gonna be too much?
I think if you're gonna do it, because we've always just put one sheet on to go and try to
Yeah.
save, you know, because they don't get utilized, both sheets don't get utilized.
I need one.
You know, so that's what I'm saying, but if you put that one on in August, you're putting this one right on in August too,
Why
so
can
you
you
got.
put this one on a little bit earlier than was previously, or can you move that up a week or two?
I guess I look at it, I mean, it's all depends on the guys that are volunteering their time to put it on. I mean, there's an art to it. I mean, and I mean, can it be done by anybody? Yeah, it can be, but good luck. I mean, it's a challenge. But what I'm looking at is, you're still, if you got, we're putting ice on at the end of August. At the last week of August, it takes a week to have ice to build it to get to the right thickness. The Minotaurs will be here, they practice, they play on it, I mean, and then that following week, it's wide open.
Where the Minotaurs are.
6 and 7.
6 and 7. So the 9th, you could start on Sunday, you know, because they're not here on Sunday. You could start on that Sunday if you wanted to start something, you know, and you still got you got September and October, you know. NDHA technically starts November 1st. You know.
So I could have ice, I'll have ice 9/9, what you're saying.
Yeah.
I can plan on 9/9.
So,
We have to because of the
Yeah.
Bobcats and Minotaurs.
so last year we put this ice on for that.
Yeah.
When did this ice go on?
That went on in October.
Okay, so it doesn't make sense to do that one.
No.
Because then we have to do this.
Yeah, we have to do this. So we always put that one on in October to go and get it ready.
What would make more sense though is to not keep this one on like we are now and keep that one on
Oh, for sure.
next year obviously.
So we need
And
that.
then we don't put this back on until the start game, we'll keep that one on for all the campsite that goes on in the off season. Obviously that's,
And what you could do is you could, you know, it'd be almost like every other year where you get caught where you'd have to,
well,
you know,
yeah, you could take this one off,
yes.
you know, and give it a couple month rest, we'll
Yeah.
get this one back on, right? Basically, put this one in August, have it come off right after you get this one on, and then in October, throw that back.
I mean, great idea to keep ice on all the time.
And I think that's something we definitely do for next year.
But, I'll get to my point here, so it sounds like, financially, this is jumping, we're being put on this one. We have to make a decision tomorrow, financially, it could be an issue for us to be
tell you, 4 years ago, when I got on the board, the first year, there was $40,000 raised on sponsorships. The next year, there was $80,000. The next year, there was $100,000. I think last year we were like, we decided we were gonna raise all those prices. Guess what? It didn't work. They kicked back. You know, we wanted to go to 2,500 instead of 2,000. And they all looked at it and said, "No, we're gonna be 2,500. We'll still do the 2,000." So Aaron brought it back to us and said, "Hey guys, I can sell the 2,000s, but I can't sell the 2,500s. They're not wanting to pay 2,500. So we said, okay, we'll go with the 2,000. You know, the logos on the ice, them haven't changed. You know, they're $5,000 each one of those on the ice. There is 2 spots for 10,000. And we've never been able to sell one of those for 10,000. But that was the thing that when I got on the board, we just came on the Cold War too, so it wasn't good. You know, the checking account was there was less than $100,000 in total in everything, gaming, checking, everything. You know. So the big thing is those right there, that last year and the year before were the first years that we've ever sold every one of those on this rink, you know, all the way around. We actually added some spots, didn't we, Sam, last year on the more end, you know, and we ended up selling more on that rink over there.
And we can really push something like that, and there's other things we can do, and we kind of talked about it even like in our marketing, like different things we can do, like bundles and stuff like that, so like up on the board, or, you know, just website, yeah.
I think it all boils down to is, I think we really need to look at it for next year and decide, hey, let's go and leave that one on. And hope they get a door in that we can get this one on.
I think I'd recommend that we do a revenue pro forma for next year, and how much revenue that should be nice on that. Make some educated guesses at some swags at, figure out if there's a gap there. I think, you know, from a boiler perspective, I can't go to the grocery store or in some of the gas station, I'm being asked, what's next? A lot of people want to be on the ice.
You know, but I know there's a whole, like, he's always doing stuff off season. He has rollerblades, he's rollerblading, he's going down there. I mean, there's things that he can,
Let's get a whole bunch of ice
I think we could do
a pro forma and create an annual calendar of all these things, camps, clinics, you got another guy coming.
Yeah.
Put this on an annual calendar and do a financial pro forma. All right, we can generate this much revenue by keeping this in. All right, and figure out if there's a gap there or not, and, you know.
So I did talk to Chaz Mosby because he's with the Dickinson program, and they take their ice off from 1 point. They do. And I asked him, I said, so in the summertime, what is your, you know, their numbers? They have more kids than ours, you know, here. I asked him, how many kids show up, you know, in the summertime? He said about 10 to 15% is the gift, and I was surprised that number. I thought that was low.
I find it low, yeah.
You know, but it's summertime, you know, and USA Hockey says, you know, they want kids to be multi-sports, you know, and I don't know. I mean, I look at it, it's a break, and if kids are playing baseball, the golf, other things too, you know, so I don't know what our numbers would be, you know, I'm hoping that it would be higher than that.
I agree. I think to make a good hockey player, you need to be a good athlete first, and then kids should be playing other sports. I also think the next race I'm talking about anybody.
So,
I'd like to look.
wanting to answer your question, Jamie, the fundraising, I was just looking at our financials for the 2023
kind of to Jamie's point, even if you take the two OPTs that we've never done before, you know, to me that pretty much covers the cost that we're talking about during this time of having it up versus not having it up. I mean, like 2 times 0.2, we don't know what this next round of OPT is going to be, but I mean, I feel like this club is on, you know, trajectory upwards. So, I mean, I would be comfortable with taking that, they call it a gamble, I mean, essentially that's what it is, leaving it on and, giving the opportunity for, you know, even if we, you know, that there's some income that we can make with having it on there. That, I spoke with Jared Wold, you know, spoke with you too, like 3-on-3, something like that. I mean, we can utilize the ice, and but it goes back to, like we talked about, like, I'm enjoying baseball right now, and all of us have multi-sport athletes. With that being said too, it's no different than basketball. Even though it's not basketball season, almost every kid would, except for here obviously, but it's like you're either gonna go outside or you're gonna wherever, like you're gonna play basketball. So even in times that it's not really that season. So I think like having it here, having the coaches and the people that we have to just have this, it's like, yeah, you burn out from the lake or whatever it is you're doing, and it is the summertime, like, hey, let's go rent ice and we get out of here. So it's, and then two, what I want to see from it, like a real big benefit of it too, is the conditioning from the kids. Is what we've done in the past is, like, I feel that the kids aren't really conditioned until probably the middle of the season. And we do spend this time where we completely check out, and then we're at the knock the rust office and stuff like that. I just think with them, giving them that ability to skate some, puts us further in competition. So
You do open the door, since it is not in school, to have the ability of utilization during the things like that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get that, but then again, who's gonna maintain that? I mean, when you're comparing it to basketball, I don't think that's even up there in comparison. No one's jamming a basketball court. No one's, I mean, there's not a compressor when it comes to a basketball court. It's probably the easiest sport ever to play outside.
well, that was probably a really bad analogy, but I was just meaning that it's like the ability to play the sport, even when it's not of any sport, when it's not like the prime season, it just like gives you an advantage. Like you're getting to skate is all I'm saying. I didn't mean it by like basketball in general. It's no different than, I mean, baseball. You come up here, you can go throw the baseball around there and here in the courts and Rough Rider, and it just kind of keeps you loose and just keeps you from just literally doing nothing for 3 months, zero skating and jumping up. It just kind of keeps you sharp. More or less.
Why?
So I don't think any of us are arguing though that we want to see the ice on all year round. I think the question is whether we do it now or if we plan for it for next year.
Well, Pat's point too, and was speaking with, I mean, what was the cost to rebuild the compressors, Pat? What was it?
Next ones aren't a rebuild, it's a replacement.
Yeah, but what was the price on them if you had to?
500.
500,000? Okay, so take this into consideration, at least if we would, or everyone. You know, replacements, rebuilds, I mean, you're looking at $250,000 to $500,000 on compressors. With bringing these down, the worst thing you can do with these systems is have them bring ice up. Like, that's the most strain that you can put on your system, is by bringing essentially a warm ring up.
So their thing is, if you're gonna take it off just to put it on in a month, probably not a good idea. But if it's not, it's 2 months, it's
2.5.
Right, but that's what the guy said too, though. It's like that is the most strenuous thing that you can do to a unit is bring up, and that's why that most rinks do leave theirs on 2 to 3 years is to keep that added stress off of their units.
When you ask Chaz about taking ice out for 1 month, how was that? How was their compressor situation? I guess is the question.
They don't have any. Their main reason why they take it off is because their ice is junk.
Fresh ice. Yeah, no, I'm saying that in
But they-
correlation to what this guy is doing, provider, like they're doing it for a month to get fresh ice every year, right?
Yeah,
So,
he didn't know on compressor or anything like that.
I was just curious.
But I mean, I look at who's been doing this for 40 years. This way. I mean, I mean, can there be a change? Yeah, there can be a change. But I mean, we did it at the old rink. We've done it at this rink every year. I guess I just look at it. I just think if this was gonna be brought up, it should have been brought up 2 months ago, and we could have had a game plan. This is what it really where I get upset about is I had a crew lined up to come in here and take the ice off, and they're all volunteers. They're all bringing their own skid machines and everything, you know. And then I cancel them today, you know. Tomorrow, I don't know if I can get them. I don't know.
So my question, Pat, were you aware of the engineering dilemma here with the?
No. Didn't know anything about that until yesterday.
And that was, my whole intention of reaching out to Sarah yesterday was originally because I was asking about ice time, and she said that once this was on the schedule, she would let me know. And then that would determine like the duration that ice was gonna be out. She had never reached out to me at all, and I had some free time yesterday to just say like, hey, like what's going on with this? You know, why are we not, you know, are we on the schedule? Is this gonna happen or not?
And I look at it for next year, that would be a great thing for us because that sheet would stay on and they could do whatever they had to and then you have to worry about this. You know, if they got the hole cut, didn't matter if there's dust on this ice, you know, until they got the hole cut. We wouldn't just use it, you know, and then we just get rid of this ice, you know. So.
Tom, do you feel like you have like that there's time to get things, some of the things that you want to get done if you can start on the 9th? That's something.
I mean, all you guys want your kids to be able to be competitive hockey players, right? That's the goal here, right? It's
Just
obvious.
enjoy hockey.
Yeah, enjoy
Just
it.
be out for hockey.
I'm sorry.
I think we should have to measure our success upon how many kids we have out in hockey.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but
Relatively.
I'm a hockey director, so I train hockey players. Here's the way clubs operate in the Chicago market where I have the most familiarity, okay? And I have familiarity with other markets as well. So tryouts are gonna begin August 1st. Teams will be selected the first week of August, so they're already practicing. They'll start playing games September 1st, all right? As soon as Labor Day holidays over, whatever that is, they're playing. So these kids in Chicago, they're playing games in September and October before our kids have played a game, all right?
Well, we can.
You train though.
You can train, but
Train.
We still have 2 months. It's the training before the
Train. Yes. I'm just saying, your season is much shorter than the majority of the rest of the country. All right, that's fact. Okay. Training doesn't have to be shorter though. All right. And I thought one of the objectives that I was hired to do is to elevate the level of play that we have here. All right. If we can extend that season, all right, and I'm not saying it needs to be all year round, near all year round, maybe, might be a better expression. If we can extend that season, we'll get better hockey players. It's a fact. The more ice time they get, the better they get. So, you know, and I understand, I hear you guys from a business perspective, right? I hear everything that's going on here, et cetera, and you've got difficult decisions to make. Obviously, for my role, I'm gonna advocate for more ice, that's
Would
my job.
anyone be opposed, say we take the ice off? So Pat, usually it starts going on, like, how soon do you start putting the ice on prior to the warm off?
1 week.
1 week. So what if we even pushed it to 2 or 3 weeks before that, where we could have like a 2 week open hockey, OPT, kind of something, just get the kids, you know, and just like a compromise there is, you know, just saying like 2 extra weeks just to get our feet under us more so than what we.
Yeah, I mean, we maybe can, you know, if we can get the guys that know how to do it, you know, that know how to, where the stripes go and everything. I mean, that's the reason why we've always we've never, until the war, when we started doing this, put ice on. Before it was, you know, we didn't put it on until October, you know, so
with that, I mean, obviously your scheduling is like, well, who consists of that specialized group?
Dave Vance.
Dave does all that stuff?
Well, no, but I mean, he's the one that knows every step. So, I mean, it's him, it's been me, it's been Damien, it's been Aaron Gravis.
And honestly, we have put out, if anyone wants to come help put ice on, and no one just does the same.
But the other thing, if you get too many out there, you know, you gotta paint it white. And you get so many out there, next thing you know, you got them, they're walking and it's dirty ice. You know, it starts getting footprints and everything, you know. So we've always tried to keep it, you know, half a dozen people that kind of just.
Right. So with that half a dozen people, I mean, I think if we take it off today, I mean, that gives ample time to plan and to communicate with these people. Like, hey, we would like 2 weeks.
The big one would be is Dave. He's the one that
Well, and then do we have all the paint and stuff, or does that?
we have to order.
We do have it all.
We have to order that in the straightening kit.
So who's part of, is that just part of, like your committee for doing that? Is that who's, I mean, or you just have to handle?
I just go and what I've done in the past when I was, you know, since I've been on the board is I'll tell the treasurer that, hey, we need to order this from Becker Arena, you know, a kit. And it comes as a kit, you know, you order 8 boxes of white paint for each rink, it takes 8 boxes, you know, and then a straightening kit.
Have our sponsors figured out, so by then.
Yeah, then you got your sponsors, because then if there's a new one, you know, we get the logo already from the company that we've been going through, you know, and they get it sent to us before the ice goes on. And I'll be honest, I've cut in one, Dave's cut in more, but the only time we cut in one was, and it was a nightmare to cut it in. I mean, it's just, you're out there with an edger and you're cutting and you're okay, how thick are we? You know, you're trying to measure. Well, when we did the last one, we were into the white paint, and then we had the white gone, and so we were all shit. So we were all starting all over trying to find white paint because, you know.
So just to find common ground, like I feel like there's obviously people in here that walked the ice off yesterday, and then there was like.
I think it could. You know, but we just need
it's 2 weeks, like we with Dave. I mean, just say, hey, you know, just even do 2 weeks, like a 2 week, you know, before the war in Watford, just.
Yeah, make something, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we discussed that.
You can OBT for the entire 3 weeks, right?
I can't hear you.
You get OBT it for the 2 weeks before plus the week up, they haven't used it for after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're gonna go through 3 weeks, then they're gonna put it on the week before the week that comes, to make sure it's absolutely good.
I'll be honest, if you're gonna put it on earlier, I would the last 2 weeks you would actually what you would get is you would gain an extra week in August, because you wouldn't want to put it on in the middle of the month. You know, you would start the compressor up, you know, it takes 3-4 days to cool this back down, then you gotta put the edging around it, you know. And so it would be, you would get that whole week of the Minotaur before the Minotaurals come. You could do that whole week, and you could flow in, you know.
Yeah, if we left the ice on, would we have to take it off eventually because it's junk? Before the season started?
No.
I don't agree. I agree that the ice has got to come off because of our water. I mean, after a while, it's junk ice. hard ice that we are normal to have. I mean, we're one of the rinks in North Dakota that has hard ice. I mean, everybody comes here and they're like, you got hard ice, you guys got fast ice. Well, it's because we're running our compressors a lot lower than everybody else. You know, we're running it at 28 degrees, you know, 27 degrees, you know.
And honestly, Jamie, I think that's essentially the difference in opinions and like who's on the ice, what you feel of it. Because, I mean, I had also reached out to Dan Gutino from Houston. They run their compressors through Texas Heat year round, and it comes off every 3 years. So, and it'd probably be safe to say Houston's water is as bad, if not worse, than what we have here. But like, we're not taking water samples and comparing water to water.
I don't know, I will say that being is that the ice is bad right now, so if that ice is gonna stay on this ice, that's staying on all season.
I just worry
I would
about what
rather-
time does happen to it.
Well, I would just rather worry about keeping ice on next year than the year. I mean, this is just,
I agree.
we're already planning on having ice up by today, and
I think
Too late to put ice on over there. Take it off, put it on.
I don't have a kit because that's got the curling and everything. I don't have any of that stuff.
So what's the turnaround on ordering a kit?
Most time it takes a week and a half. It does. But I can tell you right now, that over there is terrible to put up because that is all done by a tape measure to get all the circles for the curling in and everything. And Dave Hansen, he won't come and do it. Now, you know. But I think you could get him in August, you know, to put this one on sooner. To go and try to put that one back on. I know, because this is his summer, you know, this is.
Well, I mean, or do we look at what the cost of bringing someone else in? And we've got a guy from Minot on our hockey committee now.
you wanna add an extra cost?
No, I'm not adding an extra cost, I'm just saying like what, I'm just asking what that looks like.
I think we should just.
Because I mean,
vote
one
on
of
it.
these days, Dave's gonna like not be here. I mean, it's like this is something for, you know, it's like who's he gonna pass the torch on to for, you know, the future.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I think it's super beneficial for the kids to have the ice all summer long. I think it's great for Tom and Ed that we hired to keep busy through the summer and build this program. But what I can't stand is the extra cost that I just heard tonight.
Yep.
I mean, just out of the blue. I mean, I knew there was gonna be extra cost, but extra $15,000 from the park district, just because, you know, they even mentioned we gotta hire another guy. I mean, that's not really our problem. Sounds like they're busy enough and they probably should have hired another guy anyhow. But they're gonna put it on us a little bit, and that's fine, you know, I get that. But it's a last minute decision that I don't like. I don't like the extra cost. I came in here completely, you know, in favor of keeping the ice on, but I don't like the extra cost.
I think if we can work with them next year to do that, I think
Yeah.
maybe we can, you know.
But I do think we need to find a happy medium, like bringing it on earlier. Because the other idea is, I mean, I would throw this on Tom, starting now for next year, Tom. We're gonna keep it on all summer long. You're gonna pay for this for us. You're gonna build this program and charge it out and pay for it. Give you some time to prepare, plan, and all that stuff. But we can't simply, there's no way I can ask you that right now.
I agree with you, yeah.
The only other way to do it.
It is, right now, it's too short a notice. I mean, you know, I presented plans back in January for spring, summer, it was a lot of if and rain when we have ice, but so I've got plans done to do things. I think we need to do a financial pro forma, right? If we do this, how much money do we think we can make? Maybe we do some surveys, all right? We survey the membership. Would you be interested in this type of camp in the summer at this time of year? And see what we get back.
think,
It's a tough decision, it's real tough.
do you think we should try to do like maybe a dry land?
Yeah, I mean, there's,
You know, for 4 weeks or something?
it's just,
You know?
there's stuff we could probably do. That's just not my area of expertise. For one,
Why do we not utilize the space more like lacrosse
I
or
think the RRC
hockey?
utilizes it some for different
They-
things too. You know, I think the RRC does utilize it some in the summer, is what I've heard, but I wasn't here last summer, so I don't know.
You could work with them, you know?
Yeah.
Because when they have some of their events, they use a lot of times that ring.
Like lacrosse is the most like hockey
Great sport.
than any other sport.
Love the sport.
And, you
Sweet
know,
at lacrosse.
You have to,
I don't know.
you have to get with them if we started something like that, because we pay for the Senate building, whether they have something in here or not, I do not believe our amount of their paying is for the positions. When they host these, I know that I've talked to them about totally separate rent, the open skate is part of their grant. Agreement for the bill, yeah. Other than that, though, the other things they do is just. So, that's a different discussion.
So, is that something that we're gonna, do we need to go on the vote, or are we just in agreement that ice on will work on keeping it on next year and talk to Gabe about putting this ice on early?
Yeah, just leave it, see if you can get the ice back on early, however early you can do it, I'd be grateful.
Okay.
And let's see if we can make a plan for a near year-round hockey facility.
I just want to say, I was saying that with the burden on you to pay for those months.
Oh, that's
It's not
right.
entirely true.
Yeah.
I mean, the burden is going to be shared between you and this club, I feel. Like,
Right.
fundraising side of
The
things.
camps as well should generate revenue, like if we're charging, I mean, honestly, I've reflected on this, and this isn't Mario or anything, if we're charging Planet Hockey, what do we charge them per hour? $200 per hour. I mean, do you know what they're bringing in on those camps?
Yeah, I mean,
Those camps, if you look at their prices, and what they're charging per hour per kid, they're twice as expensive as OPT, all right? And maybe we want to increase what we're charging them as well. There's different ways we can try to drive revenue, but I mean, those camps are, you know, $500 for, I don't know, 6 hours.
Did you see that I train hockey guy tried this?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing.
As soon as they know
don't
what
want
it's
to
gonna
play
say
anymore.
They told me.
Is it? Oh, okay.
So, yeah, there's a few spots, but I mean, that's crazy expensive.
So, are we gonna move on to treasurer's report? Okay.
Well, we actually need
Previous
to,
meeting.
we need to approve the previous meeting.
Okay, so I will move to approve the previous meeting minutes.
Yep.
One second.
Yep.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So the treasury report, I'm just gonna kind of skip over most of it, because we already just discussed it. So, I just wanted to know what we were paying in utilities, that's not including, that's electric. So, that's another thing that we gotta look at in the future, is this isn't covering gas, it's only covering electric, like the 14,480.
It shouldn't be much. But from what I've heard, it shouldn't be much. Now they're gonna put a meter in. I had to be with Justin a few weeks back at a grad party that you were at, and after you left, we got to talk about this. It shouldn't be a whole lot. From what he told me.
So I just think maybe all those numbers need to be
Yeah.
looked at.
Accurate, right?
Yeah. And then, that was all I kind of had for the treasury report, is kind of what we already discussed. And then she'll be emailing that utility numbers to us. So that's it. I'll motion to approve the treasurer's report. And this is all emailed to you guys.
Second. All those in favor, say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion So committees, hockey committee, hockey director.
Yes, let's start with hockey committee. Brody and I have been talking quite a bit on this topic. All very good conversations. We had 15 people express interest in joining the committee. And, you know, I don't think Brody and I disagreed on much in regards to it. We think kind of every person could add some value in a different perspective to that. And we've kind of just gone through, and it's like 15 is a lot of people to manage within a group, in a committee, and managing those meetings would certainly put a strain on it. But we've kind of gotten to the point where, you know, if we eliminate this person, then why are we keeping this person? If we eliminate that person, then why does this person get to stay? And just haven't been able to kind of come down, or you just, like a final decision, like, on this. So maybe we can open this up for some brief conversation.
Kind of at a point where do we let everyone that put their name on the list join? Or do we try and narrow it down? We're both kind of open to either one at this point. Me and Jamie had talked. Maybe we just each pick 2 or each pick 3 or 6 total, or kind of wanted your guys' opinion on what you thought.
I think my question on that would be, it's like, obviously, I mean, even having us in here, sometimes it's a lot. And
Yeah.
if you really want to
That's
take that, I mean, but to your point too, Tom, it's like you're going to get something. I mean, everyone's got a good idea.
Everyone's going to add some value, there's no question. I mean, everyone, I think, would add a little bit of value depending on different areas. You know, I've kicked around and bounced off Brody, like having maybe a core group of people on the committee, and then maybe some these other people in advisor type roles, that they don't need to come to every meeting, but they really talk about, let's get some parent feedback, let's invite those parents in. That type of approach as well. I think that would be effective, but like, you know, we haven't been really disagreeing on this, I don't think I put it that way at all. We just haven't been able to figure it out, to be quite honest, we're both kind of stumped. So open to your suggestions.
Is it I compared, I've already posted the website based on your email.
Well, that's kind of what we started out, right?
So,
we kind of agreed on
I
that.
compared that to the spreadsheet.
And
so
then-
it's like 2, maybe 3.
There was 3 on the spreadsheet that didn't come on there, right? And then so Tom had said that people have issues with this certain person not being on it. And then I said, well, if we're gonna let him on it, why don't we just let the other 2 on it then too? Like, why are we just leaving out 2 certain people?
Which I agree with.
And at that point, it's, well, now we just have everybody.
So
Do we need to rethink this and just each pick 3? Or do we just go with it and hope that we get something done with 50 people sitting here?
Well, I agree, you're not gonna want a whole, that's a lot of people that don't want to see, but also, if you also wanna do a subcommittee type of thing too, right?
That's where I think the subcommittees, I think if we could figure out those roles properly and do, you know, a parent subcommittee, things along those lines, I think that would work.
Like how many people are currently on the committee?
Yeah, I don't know.
Your budget and finance committee, how many people are on that?
We're just looking at the average of our.
You need to just find out the number, so, yeah, it's fine.
5.
You're gonna do it 5 to 7.
Yeah, I don't know.
So let's each pick 2. Or
3 and 3 and then 1.
each pick 3.
What do you think?
Or
Well,
if you go 5, yeah, you each pick 2 and then you draw 1 out of the hat. You know?
We've done that, and it's like, I got 5 that I think have significant value, and just myself, and I'm sure he's got as well, and it's like, this isn't personal about anyone, I just think there's people that, giving it just 3 and 3, that can add value to what we're trying, what I would like to see us accomplish. You know, it's a tough decision, I mean, everyone on here can certainly fit a role.
I think it's a very fortunate thing to have that much interest in that committee.
members, and like give people roles. So Brody and I are co-chairs. I'm hockey director, as a board member. Player development, you know, I had Bobby flag for. LTS LTP, Preston Scott flag for. 8U 10U program, Keith Norbeck. And those are primary guys. Girls travel program, off-ice program as well. And then the advisory roles that I have, which would include like Dave Hansen, alumni community. Different areas that I broke down are parents, coaching, equipment and uniforms, video training and library, and then an exploratory group.
I mean, so you can do over the top 3. I mean, even if we did, and you and Tom and Dave, that's top 3, but you can have all 15 on the committee, but then it's ultimately the 3 vehicles. So you have an odd number or 5 or whatever, and so you just said this advisory committee is. So you can include everyone in on the discussion, and then it comes down to them all knowing that it's only the 3 or 5 votes of the top that you want that is gonna count when a discussion is controversial.
Yeah, like if
That's
hey,
not a bad idea.
like yes, like we can have people like, hey, we could use you at this meeting. You don't need to come to everyone.
And to have like she said, me, you, somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know if 3's the right number, but to reflect on that, but yeah. I like that structure. I
You
do.
each pick one, like your name, right hand, person, and then throw neutral party.
We said you're gonna tag team wrestling.
I'm just saying, if you get to your 5, because there's an even number in there.
Yes.
So you can't pick a number to be every 2
Right,
now.
right.
Throw somebody random into the middle.
Right.
I think whatever you decide, just run with it, and if it's not working, then y'all just have to change it up.
So, and I apologize for maybe not seeing this completely squares, but maybe I should. So, with my understanding of the hockey committee, I mean, we're running all these ideas through, you know, with this group. But, so whatever decisions are made within that will come down to a vote. Is that correct?
I think we'll maybe vote to what we want to bring to the board. Right?
And maybe
Is that
we'll
how that works?
Well, but see, this is what I guess what I'm asking this, so it's like, Tom as the hockey director, directing hockey, are we going to, because then I feel like, then essentially the committee is, I'm not gonna say dictating, but it's like, maybe it's something that he don't wanna do, but it's voted on, and so like, I mean, we brought him here to do a job, and now he's having to do something.
I guess I've never been on a committee to where we've never agreed on anything, like we've always just came to like.
And I don't know if it's gonna be much voting as much as it's gonna be like Tom comes with a plan that he wants to implement for our hockey program, whether it be like, you know, a system or something like that. Maybe he asks the hockey committee what they think. Am I wrong on that, or is?
No, I mean, I think there's certain, and Jason and I've had a number of discussions on this, there's certain things that need to fall under the decision making of the hockey director. But I would certainly like to hear outside other voices and opinions before making that decision, okay? I gotta live and die by the decisions, not the committee, correct? All right, so I want to have collaboration and hey, this is the list of coaches that I think would best fit in each area. What do you guys think of this? But at the end of the day, I have to make that decision. This is, you know, the level of play that, you know, I think this team should play at. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we think they can compete at that level of play. At the end of the day, I need to live and die by those decisions.
But that gets presented to the board.
Yeah, and I can't see there being much disagreeing.
I don't think
That's
that's what
why
it's
it's
on
not
this
easy.
right. No, I'm not expecting this to be a contentious committee by any means.
Yeah.
I think you go with 5, and then you have the others on subs, you know, other duties too.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a way we can do that.
and it can all, even if you all got together, you know, just all 15 of them once a month, you know, so they all kind of knew too, what the 5 that kind of are coming with a plan, you know, so they know it too, you know.
What if we each, just throwing this out, should pick one person. And then, so that's me, you, 4, and then we throw Dave Hansen in there because, I mean, he knows more than anybody.
Tom, Brody, maybe you guys should just take the 15 people, put them in a room like this, and discuss how you're gonna deal with it. And then essentially make that decision amongst everyone, include why you're making that decision, so everyone understands why I've chosen this person, that person. That time you choose your people in front of them, all 15, so they understand, so they're not
I like
blindsided.
that as well.
So,
I like that.
and I guess one other question, I just want to see how this is gonna look. Say, like, this is just an example, I don't know, but say that Tom's wanting I'll just use the Bantams as an example. Just he wants the Bantams to play double A hockey. Well, the committee talks about it, and maybe they're on the board, you know, kind of on the fence, maybe there's just, you know, however that looks, but then, but essentially Tom says, no, like, I really feel we're gonna play double A hockey, then that has to come to us to
We
vote
have to
on.
build a team of intentions, yes. We have to build a team of intentions to present to the state, so we will have to know what the hockey committee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but what I'm asking is, we're not gonna vote on it, because I think we all.
We have to approve the teams for the year.
Okay,
Yeah.
but, so we approve it, but are we gonna,
Yeah.
I guess.
Are you gonna ask if there's any like conflicts or someone's gonna throw something out there? I mean.
No, it's just, it's like, if I didn't want them to play double A, like myself, like, then, I guess that's what I'm asking, just like.
Well, I mean, last year I didn't think the Pee-wees could play 8, but I didn't sit there and
No, I know
the
that.
coaches,
So
you know.
you just went with what the
I
coaches
just
should
went
do,
with what
okay,
the-
that's what I'm asking. That's what I was just
No, but I'm
asking.
just saying, you
I
know.
was just,
And I think ideally, the idea is that the hockey committee came to the conclusion that we should play this.
yeah.
And because we were picked as the hockey committee, I would assume you guys would just agree.
So that comes to that, then, okay.
But we
Well,
have
that's
every
what I was
right to have-
asking, that
What's
it's
that?
not here, that's-
Yeah, exactly.
We have every right to
The
ask
idea is to
questions on
speed up
why they
this.
decided to come to that conclusion, what their reasonings are, you know, I don't.
Alright, so to close this out then, I'm gonna recommend we go with that approach. Before the meeting, Brody and I figure out who those people are. We'll communicate that out, cause I wanna reflect on that reduced number, and I think that had the most value for me. I'm sure you wanna reflect on it as well, and we're gonna meet scheduled with that entire group for as soon as possible.
Yeah, issue with that is we can't make that decision with everybody there.
No, you and I need to have that decision done. You and I need to have that decision done prior to going in.
Just a thought,
Yeah.
if I had 10 people interview for my job position, I would interview each one in a sense, figure out which one's most qualified.
Yeah.
In person.
Yeah.
We have time for this, like.
Yeah.
We do, there's things I want to get moving.
No, you can
Yes,
do
there
this,
is.
you can do this as a whole group.
Yep.
A lot of people don't like to speak, you know, in
Yeah.
group settings, or you can interview them separately. But you can just say, you know, this year we had such a vast amount of people, we have to narrow it down to 6 people. And I'm gonna ask you some questions, and we're gonna, Brody and I are gonna determine it based off of that for this year. You know, and, this is something of that nature.
That's a good suggestion. I think Brody and I can figure this out and go with a 5++. I think the advisor type thing that we have on a couple of certain meetings. It's up.
Yeah, I think you, get moving on her and then we'll, I mean, if you gotta
Yeah, we'll need to know
drop,
team intent,
drop
like,
plans.
by the next meeting, we'll need to know.
Oh, well,
team
for that.
Oh,
I mean, I want to get these meetings, so I got a lot of things
Okay.
I'm looking for input on.
perfect. And then I can also, like, tournaments and stuff, are you working on that
Tournaments
currently?
as well, I'm working on, I reviewed everything that you have, I have a list of other tournaments, I have information from him, I got information on the coaches website.
If you can get it before, like the day before the meeting, I need information.
What's that?
If you can give us information, if it's through an email or whatever it
Yeah.
is, it's not just like
assess the feedback I've received, it's been all very positive. Strategic plan update for a 3-year strategic plan. I'm done with probably 80% of it. The parts that I'm waiting on are where I wanted input from this plan, from the hockey committee. So the pieces that are completed, I have started with the current state of the organization. That breakdown is done, which has my hockey director assessment of everything that I've learned over the past number of months. And then going into a desired state. And I've taken the desired state and I've broken it down into different core areas. Some of those cores are culture, vision and mission statements, facility and operations, hockey programs, team placement levels, coach development, player development, exploratory areas, and other miscellaneous. That part, the current state's 100% completed already. The desired state is areas, I'd say it's, because I don't think I'm going to get a lot of people disagreeing with it, but I want to have that hockey committee's voice in establishing. I don't think one person should make a strategic plan. So, you should have that fairly soon. I may just go ahead and send it out. Yep. Yeah, I think I'll wait. I don't want to send out the current state until I send out the desired state. But the faster we can get together, that's one of the first things we'll be tackling is that strategic plan.
And then just going back just one second, you yourself admitting you have equipment and jerseys and stuff. If you could just also include like Katie in that since she does.
Yes, and I have her name already on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's collaboration with her.
Perfect.
You know, yes. Yep. What else did I have? I think that's it for me.
Freeze.
It is.
I got it. I should have.
So budget and finance, I don't have much of an update, but rumor is I'm to know my grant application, so I'm kind of excited because I've never wrote a grant before, so we're gonna try with budget and finance to hit that hard. Hopefully get some other people. It can take years, you know, with some of the grants to get approved, so that is just untapped money that we need to look into. That's all I got.
You guys don't need me for anything else, right? My part's done here.
Yeah,
You can stay if you want. No. Thanks. Thank you guys. Shit's freezing.
For me, I sent mine out, it's really just, Saturday back and forth with the hotel so far, they're not really play that game, but I'm trying to see if there's something else I can go to about it, because we're not dealing with trying to do this gameplay. There's no reason they shouldn't do it. They have good realistic reason that they just don't. So, other than that, I just had three different teams sign up today. I'm sure Mario's looking at more of them. We talked earlier, there's some other divisions that he didn't sign up for yet, so I'm sure just go through that. They're gonna start coming in pretty sporadically, I would imagine, until Canadians start jumping in, which is when they usually listen. So that's really all I have. The added to that would be when that release is going on, I don't know with the merch and stuff. But I don't think that's necessary in this season, so.
Yeah, so last time when Nicole was in here, she spoke on dibs. She mentioned to raise the dibs. I think we do need to make a motion. I do think we do need to raise the dib count from 500 to 1,000. That's kind of what I'm looking for, is to change our policy of the dibs state. And I'd also like it to see new families at least do 5 hours in concessions. So I'm looking at changing those policies, so I'm just kind of looking for a motion to get those approved, to change the policy.
I'll make them.
Yeah, I got it, I'm not sure.
I'll second. All those in favor? Say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
That's all I have under the.
And I did have one other thing with dibs. Just traveling through the spring and just kind of looking at, these tournaments and kind of the staff that they have in, you know, running the boards. I mean, I know in the past we've essentially had a scorekeeper, a music person, the clock, the book, music, and 2 in the penalty box. There was 5. And I've witnessed over the spring them running tournaments with in Bismarck there was literally one pro breaker, the older strong. One is not fair enough, but I think we could.
I think if you have 3,
I've already changed it to 3.
Yeah.
And that's just for tournaments, because during games it doesn't count.
Yeah.
So if they wanna have 5 people in there, they can have it.
Yeah. Okay. We're all in the same page.
I had 4 at the tournaments last year. I realized with the checking table concessions that I was one too many. We're cutting it to 3. I've also been in tournaments like that. And what you get is a guy missing the clock to start or stop it, doing the book, and you get no
Right, so you're gonna have Jamie calling you down.
and you get no atmosphere because they can't play music and so you need more than one.
Yep.
It can be done, but it's done carefully. So we've kind of already done that, cut down to 3 for the tournaments.
Alright, fundraising?
So, in light of what we just talked about today, we definitely have some work to do. And I spoke to Sam and Lisa that because I have such a small amount of people in fundraising, you guys kind of do too, and I really think marketing and fundraising goes hand in hand. I would like to join forces with Sam, set up a meeting as soon as possible, and have an agenda that I would like to present. I will reach out to the people that signed up on my list as well, explain to them kind of what, give them a heads up in a sense, and then, work together on this, as a team. I think it would be more beneficial.
I agree.
Yeah, I
As
think
far
it's
as-
just kind of in our marketing meeting, we're kind of like, well, this is fundraising and the fundraising, and it was one of those things that it's just getting just making sense.
Okay.
So I'd like to join forces on that, and, work with Sam as far as chairing, it doesn't matter who chairs it. I don't care, but, definitely excited to be going on that, so.
We need to keep it the same, just work it together, and then if something deliberately falls on just your hair, just right, I mean, I don't manipulate anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Marketing.
Okay, so truly have separated is the championship ones. And then, so that would save us a lot of money. So I'm thinking that we're gonna be sitting more around $3,000 for all of this, you know, compared to if he quoted me $5,500.
What does it look like you have to ship it back to him to get it out?
So
You
again,
have to ship that back to him every time?
I guess I didn't ask him that, but he says he does it all the time, so I don't know. I can ask him that question. Sorry, yeah, that's good.
Just me, I like these, I don't like that.
It's 4 by 7.
Well, we were looking at it because I don't like the red on the black. I mean, because if you look at like our home jerseys, the home jerseys are actually white out on it red. So I don't know if the red would even stick out on the black that well. I think it'd have to be outlined, but
See, the black's kind of hard to see.
it is.
I like
Yeah.
that background better personally.
But if you look at, because it's all matte red, so if it's white and like maybe you can do like outline it, maybe it can pop out more. I don't know. But we can always just all stick with white too.
You know, just my humble opinion, you guys figure it out, I have white. It's
So you
readable.
don't think we should separate girls and boys between the two colors?
Personally,
How about the runner-up banners? Because we were gonna do boys runner-up and a girls runner-up banner. So there would be 2 separate ones. And I think these ones could be bigger, you know, and we could maybe even make it in a different week.
you're gonna want to be,
Yeah.
because you're gonna need more room.
So it'll be bigger than the 4 by 7s.
One thing I would maybe ask Lisa, and I mean, when I did this with some mock-up jerseys, you know, when we had them send one, you know, send a couple, you know, one of the white, one of the black, and we got to look at it, you know. I mean, when you're looking at it on a piece of paper, it looks really good, but when we got the jersey in our hand, we were like, oh, this is not, no, we need to change, you know. And a lot of times those companies will send you an example, you know.
I think that's a good idea. So that's kind of where I'm sitting. So I would like to just kind of, how do you want to do this? Do you want this to come back to you guys and you approve the design and the look and all of that? Or can I say that I'll email you if it's, you know, the actual price when I get the final, or
I just want to make a motion not to exceed a certain amount.
What's the turnaround on getting them here so we can get them on, because we still gotta get, figure out exactly the logistics of it.
So right now, all I'm-
Yeah, right.
I'm in the stage of only working with the designer, so I haven't even gone out, or they haven't even patched me up with the sales guy.
So I
They
think
only gave me that one quote because I asked for it, but
the reason why I asked is for that exact reason, because I don't wanna hold you up. I think this one's fun, so if we wanna make a motion to
Not to exceed $4,000.
Yeah, $4,000 or whatever that number makes sense.
and if it's not, I'll let you guys know through email and I'll just be like,
Yeah.
hey, this isn't working. It was way more banners than I thought, so, okay. That's all I had for those two.
Lisa, can I see the nice rock? This is awesome, I absolutely.
So here's I know my one's.
All right,
So I make a motion to approve Lisa to move forward on the banners not to exceed $4,000.
All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Hey, do you have any, do you have name ideas yet?
I think his Oiler guy is weird.
And then we
Well,
have,
this is
well,
just-
and then that, is that the company?
And so the
Yeah.
company can make stuffed animals.
Or
Well,
stuff.
that was the
match
next
it,
thing,
and
is
then
if we did stuffed animals and inflatable hockey sticks or something, that's just,
They
because you
have
get those from things on the
Yeah,
dollar.
they can do this stuff
Sell
with
them
mascot.
And
And
they'll
all
match
that
it perfectly.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I really.
We got a name.
Yeah, we got a name.
This is all part of recruitment and getting these kids to love our sports and
Oiler hockey.
Oiler hockey.
We just have to find someone to put the stuff on.
I'll put it on.
We got volunteer
We
already.
already got volunteers.
At least it's
They always call up, they say you're the entertainer, so
So,
It'd be nice if we had got something like that before, like the Bobcats or Minotaurs, because they have their guy here.
yeah,
And
and
then,
the kids love it.
yeah, and those three can intermingle.
Yeah, I agree.
So if we decide
Well,
to
then
go
we can
down,
get him on the ice with the
Yeah.
happy free kids and.
Yeah, that's.
There's a pretty well-known forum online that I read off. Don't ask me why, but it's written by a guy named Bob. Bob, you know what that means.
So you guys think it's huge, it's like. Alright, facility.
the only thing I have under facility we have about close to 10 of them that are dull. Jared Shop is actually going to Fargo, leaving tomorrow, going to Fargo, and we picked him more, and he would take them down for us. And then if the guy happens to get them done before he comes home on Thursday, Jared will bring them back. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that's in the process.
Okay.
So, and I do have one thing with the facility, I thought maybe the Rough Rider would bring it up. Obviously, we have knuckle heads still coming in and skating. And the reason is because that bottom door down there is an emergency exit that has to stay open. But what the Rough Rider is talking about is potentially putting an alarm on that door, so that in that instance that it comes through, an alarm will sound and hopefully deter who's ever trying to come in that door.
Like, does the alarm sound loud, or does the alarm just sound
No,
up there?
she was explaining to me it just would be like almost like a fire alarm.
Like, probably scare them.
It would scare them to keep from going through that, and then obviously they would get a notification.
They'd have to come down and reset.
That's a secondary option. The first was actually trying to look at that, removing that main fire exit door and turning it to where you lock, they lock. And they didn't need it, but they were talking with the architect or something like that. So they have two options there to do that. I mean, I do think it would probably help if we said public email that, because we've already discussed in length, it's gotta go through the schedule regardless of who you are, so we know what's going on and things. I don't need to get that dead horse, so probably should shoot out an email with yes, or it sounds like something in there to deter.
Just crosswalk.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything with the scheduling, just one quick thing, so before we move forward, Lori, I forgot Lori, she was wondering, because she's getting ready to do like the, early bird stuff, and before she could do that, one was the whole dibs stuff, so when they did repeat it, I think dibs changes made. Another one was the dates on the birthday, are we keeping it the same for like the mics to move forward? I think it'd be silly just to change it now, it might as well just stay the same. So it was to where all third graders are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so is that, we're just gonna keep that the same, and I think that's all she asked. I forgot that she said that during, that was one today. Okay, yeah, and then we also agreed that the price of the registration is all the same, so, okay.
Was the only weird changes as far as I know, there's other stuff, is everybody Nicole, like, coaches select board member or something, you said you guys wouldn't have, the only change was.
The only motion that was made,
Up in-
1,000 dibs,
I'm
yeah.
just saying you're not gonna come back, we're good on that sense now.
Yeah, I think we just see how this season goes, and, yeah, I mean, with the tournaments and stuff, I think, you know, there's always gonna probably be changes that are gonna need to be made. But, yeah, I think those are pretty much our biggest concern, is that,
The new people need to get integrated somehow.
yeah.
Zero doesn't do it, so.
Yeah. Alright, so crossbar. I sent something out, I don't know, last month, before our last month meeting, not really wanting to discuss anything, but just so you guys had it. It does sound like a lot of people are starting to move over away from sports engine, just because she,
essentially the ones that run our website.
yeah, she did like Crossbar,
And you're
you know, with the, yeah.
So Crosby was just changed.
So I think Crosby actually did it last year. Cause I know, yeah, I think they moved last year.
Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to visualize this.
And it's kind of nerve wracking moving from one system to another. It just,
I think we move forward with it.
and if you don't like, if something's messed up, you can always go backwards. But I just feel like even with the diff situation, I feel like their volunteer is a lot better, their volunteer system than Sports Engine has.
So how does this work though? So say we paid for Sports Engine up to,
So I
do you
don't,
know the date? Is
I
there
don't
a
know
date?
what their turnover rate is. That's why I'm saying we might be stuck with Sports Engine for the year, or they might prorate it. I don't know what their contract is actually, to tell you the truth. I know that there's obviously issues with like teams registering already for Sports Engine or free Sports Engine for tournaments, but we could always implement that. And even if we start like early bird registration,
Well, we've already had paid for it.
yeah, but I'm just like moving it over. Like obviously you just move it over to the Crossbar. You wouldn't have to
Do
do
they have
anything.
anything for merchandise selling, like is Sports Engine and Squad Locker?
I don't know. I can ask that question and like improve email, and then you can respond back to everyone. So that's a good question. I don't know for sure.
But we had to like print off all that stuff so we can kind of correlate it over the other one, or maybe this Crossbar pull it off Sports Engine before we, you know what I mean? Like, do they have a team that can take all this stuff we have on there and basically pull it
Yeah.
over for us, so we're not like taking
So they
screenshots that are.
Yeah, so they would build the website for us, like, so they would have to look, I'm sure they would have to look over Sports Engine and see what we have. And they've actually, before I even met with them, they were already looking through our website, so they already know what we have.
How does their, I guess, app work to where it correlates? Like, the Sports Engine app is not obviously raised curve. Is, have you looked at their app?
Yeah, I think there's a video that I sent over, I haven't tried their app, so I couldn't tell you how if it works any better.
Can be worse.
If it works any better than Sports Engine, but can be worse, and I mean,
We got feedback even from the lady in Bismarck that runs their website, and they were even considering Crossbar. They upgraded their Sports Engine, but she's still not happy with the backside. Even upgrading it didn't fix the issues that they like fundamentally have.
I just feel like the backside of the Sports Engine is so messy. Like if you're in there looking at reports, it's so messy, and I don't know, it just feels outdated to me. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't ever get the data transferred to our phone.
To your new phone, remember, we sat for an hour on the phone one night.
Yeah, and
You
it,
go in there, and they would literally have to scroll from day after day to see what was going on, you know?
and they now have like Crossbar has other things like job design and stuff like that. I mean, I just feel like
Well, I make a motion that we move forward with it.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same
go
sign.
second.
Motion carries.
Okay, I will contact them. That's tomorrow.
I have done so many things on that vacation.
We'll get it worked out. I'll talk to him, maybe he can implement, maybe he'll copy everything, he'll probably copy everything, so.
Well, typically how it works with websites is we build it, you know, and then it goes live.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to switch over. I don't know if we have it in the league or out or what that would be. If they would keep the WCO, if we own the rights to that or Sports Own Engine, actually. Maybe that's what we pay for with the
Make a motion, we adjourn.
It's like,